Listen carefully. Somewhere tonight, there is a soul reading these words who has felt it. That strange, aching pull. That quiet knowing that you were not made for the life you have been living. That deep inside your chest, something sacred has been stirring and you don't know why. You have been disappearing. Not from the earth. Not yet. But from rooms you used to belong in. From conversations that used to make sense to you. From friendships that used to feel like home but now feel like a costume you can no longer wear. Hear this clearly. This is not loss. This is not punishment. This is not God forgetting you. This is removal. And removal, beloved, is the oldest sign of chosenness in the entire Word of God. Because before you were ever elevated, you had to be erased from the places that could not hold what you were becoming. Before you were revealed, you had to walk with God alone, in silence, unseen, unheard, unexplained, just like Enoch. Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Read that again. He was not. One day he was there, and then, without explanation, without warning, without a farewell, he was gone. No funeral, no goodbye, no closure for the people who thought they knew him. God simply removed him. And I want you to understand something tonight that could change the entire trajectory of your life. God is saying, I do not remove my chosen ones to destroy them. I remove them to reveal them. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were never meant to be fully known in the room you are currently standing in. Some of you are being pulled out right now, out of friendships, out of relationships, out of jobs, out of cities, out of seasons, and it feels like abandonment. But it is not abandonment. It is preparation. It is God pulling you into a secret place where no human hand can shape you, where no human opinion can define you, where no human timeline can rush you, so that when you finally walk back out, the world will not recognize the person who returns. They will only recognize the glory that surrounds you. This is your moment. This is your sign. This is the video that was placed in front of you tonight because heaven is done letting you shrink. Stay with me. Because what I am about to speak over your life is not just information. It is impartation. By the end of this message, you will understand why you have felt so alone. You will understand why the people who used to celebrate you have grown cold. You will understand why the silence has been so loud. You will understand why your heart has been breaking even while your faith has been growing. And you will walk away knowing one unshakable truth. You are not being left behind. You are being taken somewhere they cannot follow. Let's begin. Enoch was a man who lived in a generation drowning in corruption. The world around him was loud, chaotic, and spiritually blind. And yet, in the middle of all that noise, Enoch did something radical. He walked with God. Not toward God, not near God, not occasionally with God. He walked with God consistently, quietly, faithfully, for 300 years. 300 years of communion the world could not see. 300 years of intimacy nobody applauded. 300 years of obedience that produced no headlines, no crowds, no recognition. And then, in one divine moment, heaven reached down and removed him from the earth completely. There was no long goodbye. There was no dramatic send-off. There was no ceremony. One day, the people who knew him simply realized he was gone. Beloved, I need you to sit with this truth because it is going to explain everything you have been feeling. Sometimes God does not announce the removal. He simply performs it. You have been feeling that shift, haven't you? That quiet distancing. That strange sense that you no longer fit where you used to fit. That the conversations that once fed your soul now feel shallow and small. That is not confusion. That is not depression. That is not you changing for no reason. That is the hand of God, gently but firmly, pulling you out of the shallow waters and into the deep. Hear this clearly. The chosen ones of God are never removed randomly. They are removed strategically. God does not waste pain. He does not waste isolation. He does not waste seasons of silence. Every single moment of separation you have walked through has been divine positioning, even when it felt like divine abandonment. Let me say that again because your spirit needs to receive it. It felt like abandonment, but it was positioning. Think about it. If Enoch had stayed in that corrupt, chaotic generation, would he have been able to fully become what heaven had called him to become? Could a man surrounded by spiritual noise ever walk in the fullness of divine intimacy? No. Some assignments cannot be completed in crowded rooms. Some transformations cannot happen while you are still trying to keep everyone comfortable. Some breakthroughs cannot manifest while you are still shackled to people who only knew the old version of you. God had to remove Enoch from the noise so he could reveal him in the glory. And, beloved, God is doing the same thing to you. This is why the friendships have gone quiet. This is why the group chats don't feel the same anymore. This is why certain people stopped checking on you, stopped inviting you, stopped understanding you. It is not because something is wrong with you. It is because you have entered a different frequency. You are being tuned to heaven's signal, and the people still living on earth's frequency simply cannot pick up what you are now carrying. God is saying, I did not remove them from your life to hurt you. I removed them so that nothing could interrupt what I am building inside you. Listen carefully. There is a kind of loneliness that is not a curse. It is a covering. It is God building a wall of holy separation around your life so the enemy cannot access the sacred work being done in secret. Every prophet who ever carried weight in the kingdom walked through a season like this. Moses did not become a deliverer while comfortable in Pharaoh's palace. He became a deliverer in the wilderness, alone, forgotten, tending sheep in obscurity for 40 years. Joseph did not become a ruler while celebrated by his brothers. He became a ruler after betrayal, after the pit, after slavery, after prison, after years of being unseen and unheard by the very people who once claimed to love him. David did not become king while surrounded by applause. He became king while hiding in caves, hunted, misunderstood, abandoned by those closest to him. Do you see the pattern? Every single one of them was removed before they were revealed. Every single one of them was isolated before they were exalted. Every single one of them was betrayed before they were promoted. And beloved, if it happened to them, it is happening to you. This is not coincidence. This is not bad luck. This is the ancient sacred pattern of heaven, repeating itself in your life right now, in this very season. God is saying, before I lift you in front of everyone, I must first hide you from everyone. Hear this clearly. You are in the hiding. And the hiding is not punishment. The hiding is protection. Because if God revealed the fullness of your calling right now, in your current state, the enemy would try to destroy it before it could ever mature. If God elevated you before this season of preparation was complete, pride could creep in, comparison could creep in, distraction could creep in, and the very gift heaven is trying to birth in you could be aborted before it ever reaches its purpose. So God does something merciful. Something wise, something that feels painful in the moment but will make perfect sense in the reflection. He removes you. He removes you from the noise. He removes you from the comparison. He removes you from the people who only wanted the old version of you. He removes you from environments that could not carry the weight of your calling. He removes you from relationships that were never designed to walk with you into this next season. And in that quiet, aching, confusing space of removal, he begins the real work. Listen carefully. This is where transformation happens, not in the crowd, not in the applause, not in the comfort. Transformation happens in the wilderness. Transformation happens in the waiting room. Transformation happens in the silence that feels like it will never break. You have been asking God, why does it feel like everyone left? And heaven is answering, because I needed the room emptied so I could fill it with my presence instead. You have been asking, why do I feel so different lately? And heaven is answering, because you are being remade, and nothing that is being remade can stay the same. You have been asking, why am I so tired of pretending everything is fine? And heaven is answering, because I am done letting you shrink yourself to keep others comfortable. God is saying, I did not call you to fit in. I called you to stand out. I did not call you to blend in with the crowd. I called you to walk with me, even when it costs you the crowd. This is the price of being chosen. Not everyone will understand your assignment. Not everyone will walk with you into the deep places God is taking you. Some people were only meant to be in the beginning chapters of your story, not the whole book. And letting them go does not make you cold. It does not make you bitter. It does not make you unloving. It makes you obedient. Because sometimes love means releasing people from a calling they were never meant to be part of. Hear this clearly. Enoch's walk with God was not loud. It was not public. It was not performed for an audience. It was private, consistent, and deeply personal. And it was that private consistency that positioned him for a public miracle. The world only saw the moment he disappeared. They did not see the 300 years of quiet devotion that led to it. They did not see the discipline. They did not see the intimacy. They did not see the faithfulness in the unseen places. That is the part nobody claps for. That is the part nobody posts about. That is the part that feels invisible, unrewarded, unnoticed. But, beloved, that is the exact part God is watching the closest. Your private faithfulness is louder to heaven than any public performance could ever be. Your quiet obedience when no one is watching is what qualifies you for the moment when everyone will be watching. God is saying, I see what you do when the room is empty. I see the prayers you pray when no one applauds. I see the tears you cry when no one comforts you. I see the faith you carry when no one else believes with you. And I am preparing to reward what I have seen in secret. Listen carefully. This is your sign. This is your confirmation. This is the moment heaven is speaking directly into your isolation and calling it holy ground. You are not being punished. You are being purified. You are not being forgotten. You are being formed. You are not being left behind. You are being lifted above. And just like Enoch, the removal you are walking through right now is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your translation into everything God always destined you to become. Stay with me, because we are only getting started. The second half of this message is about to reveal exactly how God finishes this process, how the removal turns into revelation, how the isolation turns into elevation, and how the pain you have been carrying is about to become the very testimony that awakens others. Do not leave yet, because what is coming next will change everything. Hear this clearly. We have talked about the removal. Now we must talk about the revealing, because removal without revealing would be cruel. And God is not cruel. God is strategic. Every season of hiding has an expiration date written in eternity, and when that appointed time arrives, nothing in hell can delay it. Listen carefully. Enoch was not removed to disappear forever. He was removed to be transformed into something the earth could no longer contain. His walk with God did not end when he vanished from human sight. It elevated into something greater, something eternal, something the natural world was never designed to hold. This is the pattern for every chosen one. The pain you are walking through right now is not your final chapter. It is your transition chapter. It is the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. And bridges are always the loneliest part of the journey, because you are no longer standing on the old ground, but you have not yet arrived on the new ground either. You are in the middle, suspended, uncertain. And that in-between place is where most people quit. That in-between place is where most people go numb, give up on their faith, shrink back into who they used to be because the discomfort of transformation feels unbearable. But not you. God is saying, I did not bring you this far to let you collapse in the middle. I did not walk you through the fire to abandon you in the ashes. I did not remove you from the old season just to leave you stranded before the new one begins. Hear this clearly. You are closer to your breakthrough than you have ever been. The enemy knows it. That is why the resistance has intensified. That is why the spiritual warfare has felt heavier. That is why the discouragement has been louder than ever before. Because hell does not fight losers. Hell fights winners who have not yet realized their own victory. If you were not dangerous to the kingdom of darkness, you would not be under this much attack. The intensity of the opposition is proof of the significance of your assignment. Let that truth settle into your spirit. The very fact that you have felt attacked, exhausted, isolated, betrayed, and spiritually drained is evidence. Not that God has forgotten you, but that heaven is preparing to do something through your life that the enemy is desperate to prevent. God is saying, they did not betray you because you were weak. They betrayed you because they could not go where I am taking you, and some doors only open after certain people walk away. Listen carefully. Betrayal is one of the most painful parts of the chosen journey, but it is also one of the most necessary, because betrayal removes the people who were never meant to witness your next level. It removes the false comfort of counterfeit relationships. It removes the distractions disguised as companionship. Judas walked with Jesus for 3 years. He ate with him. ministered alongside him, witnessed miracles beside him, and still he betrayed him. If betrayal touched the life of the Son of God himself, why would you expect to be exempt? The betrayal you experienced was not a sign that something is wrong with you, it was confirmation that you carry something valuable enough to be targeted. Nobody wastes energy attacking something powerless. Hear this clearly. The people who left, the friendships that faded, the relationships that broke, every single one of them was a divine filtering system. God was not punishing you through their departure. He was protecting your future through their removal. Some people cannot survive your next season, and if they stayed, they would either slow down your obedience or become casualties of an assignment they were never called to carry. So God, in His mercy, removed them before the assignment intensified. This is love. This is protection. This is heaven guarding the sacred work being done inside you. God is saying, I did not let them stay because I did not love you. I let them go because I loved what I was building in you too much to let it be interrupted. Listen carefully. Now hear this prophetic warning, because it is important. Do not rush back into noise just to escape the silence. Do not chase after the people who left just to relieve the discomfort of loneliness. Do not shrink yourself to fit back into rooms that God has already outgrown for you. The temptation during this season will be to fill the silence with anything: distraction, old relationships, old habits, old versions of yourself that felt safer than the unfamiliar territory you are walking through now. Resist that temptation, because the silence is sacred. The silence is where God speaks the loudest. The silence is not empty. It is full of divine instruction that noise would have drowned out. Elijah did not hear God in the wind. He did not hear God in the earthquake. He did not hear God in the fire. He heard God in the still, small voice, after the noise had passed, after the drama had settled, after the chaos had cleared. Your breakthrough is not going to come through noise. It is going to come through the sacred stillness you have been trying so hard to escape. God is saying, stop running from the silence. I am in it. I have been in it the whole time, waiting for you to stop trying to fill it with anything other than me. Hear this clearly. Transformation always precedes elevation. Always. There has never been a single chosen vessel in the entire Word of God who was elevated without first being transformed. Not Abraham, not Moses, not Joseph, not David, not Esther, not Daniel, not one. The transformation is happening in you right now, even in ways you cannot fully see yet. You are not who you were a year ago. You are not who you were even 6 months ago. The pain has been shaping you. The isolation has been refining you. The betrayal has been purifying you. The silence has been teaching you. You are being prepared for a level of glory that your old self could never have carried. If God gave you the elevation before the transformation was complete, it would destroy you. Pride would creep in. Bitterness would creep in. You would misuse the very gift that was meant to bless others. So God, in His wisdom, is finishing the work first. Listen carefully. I need you to understand something about breakthrough. Breakthrough does not always look like an explosion. Sometimes it looks like a quiet shift in your spirit. A moment where the weight suddenly feels lighter. A moment where the peace outweighs the pain, even though the circumstances have not changed. That shift is coming. And for some of you watching this right now, that shift has already begun. You can feel it, can't you? That flicker of hope returning. That small ember of faith reigniting after a season of feeling spiritually numb. That quiet whisper telling you that the worst is behind you, not ahead of you. That is not wishful thinking. That is the Holy Spirit confirming what heaven has already declared over your life. God is saying, the season of removal is closing. The season of revealing is opening. Get ready, because what I am about to do in your life will require a new level of faith to even receive it. Hear this clearly. Signs are already appearing around you, even if you have not recognized them yet. Doors that suddenly reopen. Strangers who speak words that feel eerily specific to your situation. Scriptures that seem to leap off the page directly into your circumstances. Dreams that feel too vivid to ignore. A peace that makes no logical sense given what you are walking through. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Heaven has been speaking to you in ways both loud and subtle, and this video right now in this exact moment is one of those signs. You did not stumble onto this message by accident. You were led here. Something in your spirit knew you needed to hear this exact truth at this exact time. God is saying, I orchestrated this moment. I brought you here on purpose. This is not random. This is divine appointment. Listen carefully. Just like Enoch, your walk with God in the secret place is preparing you for a translation the world has never seen from you before. You are not the same person who entered this season. And when you emerge from this wilderness, the people who once knew you will look at you and sense something different, something set apart, something they cannot explain but cannot deny. That is the glory of God resting on a life that endured the fire without abandoning the faith. That is the mark of the chosen ones. Not perfection, not comfort, not an easy road, but perseverance, faithfulness in silence, obedience in isolation, trust in the darkness, worship in the waiting. You have carried all of that, beloved, and heaven has seen every single moment of it. God is saying, your suffering was never wasted, your loneliness was never wasted, your tears were never wasted. I have collected every single one of them, and I am about to turn them into a testimony that will awaken the very people who once misunderstood you. Hear this clearly. Victory after endurance is not a metaphor. It is a promise. It is written into the very fabric of your calling. Every chosen vessel who endured the wilderness eventually walked into the promise. Everyone who stayed faithful through the silence eventually heard the voice break through. Everyone who remained humble through the hiding eventually experienced the revealing. And so will you. This is not the end of your story. This is the turning point. You are standing at the edge of a breakthrough so significant that the enemy has spent years trying to keep you distracted, discouraged, and disconnected from your purpose, because he knows what happens the moment you fully step into it. But it is too late. You found this message. You received this word. And now there is no going back to who you used to be. Listen carefully, one final time. God is saying, you are my chosen one. I removed you to refine you. I isolated you to protect you. I allowed the silence so you could hear me clearly. And now, just like Enoch, I am preparing to reveal in you what I have been building the entire time. Rise. Your season of hiding is ending. Your season of glory is beginning. If these words touched something deep inside your spirit tonight, do not let this moment pass in silence. Comment the word chosen right now as a declaration between you and God that you receive this word over your life. Let it be your act of faith. Let it be your seed of obedience. Let it be the moment you stopped doubting and started declaring. Strengthen your faith in this season even when it feels like nothing is happening, especially when it feels like nothing is happening, because the deepest work of God always happens in the places our eyes cannot see. Trust His timing, not your timing, not the world's timing, His timing. Because everything that has felt delayed has actually been divinely scheduled. And if this message spoke life into your spirit, subscribe, so that heaven can continue reaching you through these words, so that you never miss the next prophetic message assigned to carry you through this season and into the fullness of who God created you to be. You were chosen before you were formed. You were called before you were ready. You were set apart before the world ever noticed you. And just like Enoch, God is not finished with you. He is only getting started.